So to start off with then, this is Jon Hale from the Jon Hale Group, who is going to present the offer to you.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Chris. Good evening, everybody. As I said, my name is Jon Hale. I have been leading a group that has been looking at the formation of a Phoenix club to play at Edgar Street after the demise of Hereford United. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you very much to the Supporters Trust, for inviting us along to make this presentation. We feel it's really important at this stage to connect with all fans, to try and answer some of your questions. We've had lots and lots of questions and lots of comments, and it's a really good opportunity tonight to bring it all together and get it all out in the open at this stage. And as Chris said earlier, it's fantastic to see such a turnout tonight. It really is. It really is heartening to see what a fantastic appetite there is for football to continue at Edgar Street. In a short moment, I'm just going to explain what our proposal is. I'd be ever so grateful if you could just listen to it for the time being, and then at the end, as Chris said, after Chris has got up and said a few words, we're going to start a question and answer session. Okay, so I'm sure there'll be lots of questions, but please just bear with it and let us get through this bit first, and then we'll come back onto the questions and answers. Firstly, it's a really important thing to say this. We fully understand as a group the fears of all supporters of Hereford United that was. It has been an incredibly difficult time for all of us over the last 6 to 9 months. We've all got different feelings and different opinions as to what's happened. But we realise as a group that we have to earn your respect and your trust that has been broken in the last 9 months. We are fully aware of that, and that is why we're here tonight. Our proposal will help protect this club from the experiences of the past 9 months. So never again can people come in, get hold and ruin this football club. I've been asked a lot, when did we start talking about this plan? It was around February, March last year when a small group of us got together and said, what if? What if Hereford United goes into liquidation? What if Hereford United disappears? And over the course of the next few months, our small group started talking to Chris and Martin as chairman and vice chairman of the Supporters Trust. And we started to talk and progress a few ideas as to what we could do. Above all else, we wanted to stand up and take responsibility for the situation if the club went bust. In June, we decided that we'd come out and make it public that we were looking at this plan. And together with the Supporters Trust, they supported our ideas, and we were happy to go out and tell people what we were doing. Further to that, we've then met with Herefordshire Council, the Herefordshire Council leader Tony Johnson on a number of occasions, and in those meetings we've always taken a representative of the Trust with us so that they were fully aware of what was going on as we walked and as we went through the months. So we're here now. The old football club has sadly left us, and now we have a proposal. One of the problems that we face are deadlines. The Football Association have advised us that we need to make an application by the 1st of March this year in order to be allocated a league to play in for next season. With that application, we have to prove that we have a football ground to play from. So as you can see, it's tight. Really, really tight. And we need Herefordshire Council to move as quickly as possible with their process for achieving a new tenant of Edgar Street. but also we need to make sure that we're going into that application process with everyone behind us, because the council will be watching to make sure that everyone is in tune with what we're trying to do. And that is why tonight is so important. We are also acutely aware that Edgar Street has fallen into a very poor state of repair. Ideally, the tenancy, whoever is successful, and we hope that will be us, would be offered on a fit-for-purpose basis, i.e. that Edgar Street will be back to its former glory, the capacity will be back up to where it should be, 5,000 maybe, and the ground is ready from day one for us to run a football club from. There are well highlighted problems behind that wish, and we fear that there may be a requirement for a fairly substantial amount of capital from our group to bring Edgar Street back up to where we want it. We do not want to move back into that stadium with the capacity as it was when the club went bust in December. And that's a really, really key point, as I'll come back to later on. I'd like now just to quickly run through, I know you've all got handouts tonight, and on those handouts are exactly what I'm about to go through, but I think it's really important, just point by point, for me to briefly go through it. 2 weeks ago, Phil and myself presented this proposal to the full trust board. So what you have on your sheet is exactly what we walked into that meeting with, and has obviously been made public since. The proposal for Hereford FC is that the Supporters Trust can own up to and including 50% of the club by buying shares. That 50% will be ring-fenced for Hust and Hust only. There will be a time limit on Hust acquiring or buying those shares, which will be 3 years, but if they don't achieve 50%, those shares will not be sold to anyone else. The board of directors may then decide to extend that period to give Hust every opportunity to own up to that 50% mark. There, of course, then will be another 50% that is available and open to any other individual to purchase. But we will stipulate that no individual can own more than 24% of the shares, of the full shares of the club. And that is because we do not want, well, firstly, we do not want anyone owning too much share of the overall club, but we also want to encourage Hust to be the majority shareholder, and naturally, once they get past that 24%, they will be. All shares will be purchased at the same value, which will be £1 across the board. Whether that's Hust buying them, an individual, anyone, they will all be £1. But there will be a minimum share purchase of £2,000, and we'll come back to that later on. The club's board will be made up of 4 directors from our group, and when I say our group, I mean the Jon Hale group, if you want to give it a name for tonight, and 3 directors from the Hust board. And those positions for Hust are in position from day one without any shares being bought by Hust. In fact, that's my next point. Hust will get 3 places without any financial input. New benefactors are welcome, of course, as I've just said. Any individual can buy shares in Hereford FC, but they would have to seek the approval of the club's board before buying shares. There will be a stringent process for anyone wanting to buy shares to ensure that the right people are buying in any part of Hereford FC, and you'll understand the reasons behind that after what we've been through in the last 9 months. New benefactors, and when I say benefactors I mean people wanting to buy shares, may do so either by directly buying them from the club at a minimum of £2,000, or they may wish to contribute to the Supporters Trust to help the Supporters Trust buy their percentage of the club and try and help them get up to their 50%. So there are different ways that you can put money in for share purchase. Once you've bought shares, once any benefactor has bought shares, that money's in the club. It's not magically going to come back to any benefactor once the club is up and running and we've got a bit of money behind us and we're doing okay, thanks very much. If you buy shares, you buy shares. Simple as that. It doesn't go back to anyone. But more importantly, any shareholder will have no return on their shareholding. That's a key point. Really, really key. If you buy shares, you are doing it to help the football club. You are not doing it for personal gain. The Articles of Association of the football club will state that no shareholder can have any return on their shareholding or on their share purchase. Furthermore, all profits of the football club will be reinvested in the football club. All profits. So there can be no fear of any personal gain from this football club doing well, financially well, over a period of time. It won't happen. That will be written into the Articles of Association of Hereford FC. Excuse me. That's better. Next point is that, again, we've had a lot of questions about this. The club have, or the group have, should I say, at this stage, offered the development rights to Herefordshire Council. We do not see ourselves as a group that's interested in development. We don't want to know about profits on development or anything that may come of that. We have said to Herefordshire Council, we will let you do the development, but we want to be a large part of the negotiation process to increase customer enjoyment at that football ground, to enhance the enhance the supporter experience. We would be a key part of that, and indeed Hust, of course, as they've got people on the board. That is a really, really key part of our plan, but we don't want the development. We don't want to do the development, get involved in it, have to worry about profits off it. Let them do that, but let's make sure it's for the good of the football club and its supporters. As I said earlier, there's seven directors proposed, and their roles would be allocated to all aspects of running, sustaining and improving the football club, both on and off the field. So that's the sort of ownership model, and hopefully gives you a bit more background into our thinking in terms of making sure that anyone that is interested in getting involved in the ownership of the football club, they're doing it for the love of the football club, not to line their pockets. Quite simply, that's what we intend, and that's what will happen. And also safeguarding the future of the football club as well, so nobody can get in. They just won't get in. If their intentions are not right, we won't sell them shares. Now we've had to write, as I said earlier, we've written a business plan. This business plan has gone to Herefordshire Council to back up our proposal and give them some ideas as to how we feel that we can run the club. So I just quickly wanted to go through a few things from the business plan that probably haven't yet been in the public domain, but might just give you a little bit more information as to how we see the running of the club. The first thing to say is our budget is very cautious, very cautious. We are absolutely aware that we don't start overspending from day one. That budget has got to be right. if we're going to run this football club in the right way, and if this football club is going to survive for the next 90 years plus, we've got to get those budgets right. We've got to be realistic about what we can spend and what might come in through the door. And that's what we've done. And we've had hours and hours making sure that our budgets are realistic. But they are very, very cautious. We will always have a strong influence as long as this club lasts, because it will be written into the Articles of Association. There will always be 3 directors from the Supporters Trust on the club's board. We will employ a full-time commercial stroke office manager whose responsibility it will be to hit income targets set by the commercial director. This will also help keep the costs down of employing too many staff. We see that as a full-time role covering both commercial and office duties. We will operate with a part-time football manager and part-time playing squad, at least for the first few seasons while we get on our feet. From there, obviously, we see where we are, how we're getting on, and how the budgets are in line with where we think they should be. But certainly to start with, part-time football manager, part-time playing staff. We've budgeted for a home attendance of 650, and I will just point out at this stage that anyone that listened to me on the radio 2 weeks ago, I did say 800, that was a mistake on my behalf. In the budget, we've budgeted for a home attendance of 650, and we believe that there might be around 200 season tickets in that figure. You can see there, it's very cautious. In my belief, from many years of watching Hereford United and knowing the appetite for the football club and seeing this tonight, excuse me, and all the messages of support that we've had in the last couple of weeks, that 650, I believe, is probably quite a lot lower than we can achieve. But that's what's in the budget. We will seek maximum sponsorship opportunities, including advertising boards, stadium rights, programme, player, match day, shirt opportunities, every possible income stream that we can get. We want the commercial side of this football club to be absolutely brimming, and we will look at every possible angle to ensure that those income streams are maximised. Club merchandise. There'll be ranges that will be readily available to improve the brand that is Hereford FC, and we feel that we can build a brand in Hereford FC for the good of the football club. And again, it goes back to what I've just said. All profits go back into the football club. No one's going to gain anything from this, only the football club and its supporters. If we can maximise profits through every possible income stream, we can push this club forward quickly. We will look to continue the great work of United in the Community by bringing them under the Hereford FC umbrella and encouraging the youth in the area to progress through to senior status with the club. Massive part, massively, massively important. And Hust will also provide us, as part of their 3 on the board, a community director who will play a big role in the local and wider community and the schools, as well as being a meet and greet ambassador on match days at home. Again, massively important. Build those relationships with the local and wider community and the schools. Get people in. Make them feel welcome. Appreciate them for being there. Let's get them on side as well. I haven't got much left to say, so don't worry. Just a few key messages before I sit down that we want to get out to you here tonight so that you know what we're about. Our proposal is a partnership with the Supporters Trust. Hust will always maintain a strong presence on the club's board. Hust have the opportunity to become the majority shareholder in Hereford Football Club. The Articles of Association of Hereford FC will be absolutely key to safeguarding the future of the club, and the Hust board will be fully consulted on those articles before they are signed off by the board. It is really, really important that people understand that Hust will have a big part of this. They'll have a big part to play. This club will be protected for generations to come by what is contained in those articles. And we will employ a commercial lawyer, a professional approach to it, so that those articles are written in the right manner, in the right way, containing the right words, so that all of us, as supporters of Hereford FC, are happy and comfortable and confident that this club can never, ever be run and ruined the way it has been in the last 6 to 9 months. Now, the next 2 months are going to be difficult. It's not going to be straightforward. We've got 2 main angles that we've got to attack. When I say attack, it's probably the wrong word to use, but that we've got to concentrate on. One is the council, of course, with the lease and the tenancy of Edgar Street to negotiate and hopefully be successful with. And the other is the FA. We don't know at this stage what level that we will be put at as a football club. It is very likely, by their rules, that we'll be put in the same league as Westfields, because that will be 2 leagues below where we were as a club, effectively, when it went into liquidation. And because we're a Phoenix continuation, they take that level and come down 2 leagues. I have spoken to various people in the last week, Jesse Norman being one of them, because we feel that if we can put enough case together with the FA when we put our application in, we may, but it's only may, achieve 1 level higher than that, which would be 1 level below where it would be Southern League regional. It's going to take a big effort, and we need people like the local police to be putting their letter together to go in that application to say that our support away from home is fantastic and you can't afford to be sending us to small grounds. So that's the position we're at the moment. We're still working on it, and we will try and achieve the very, very highest level possible for Hereford Football Club. But at least that will put you in the picture as to where we're at with the FA at the moment. The FA, I will say, have been very impressed. They've had a lot of our details and details of our proposal. They're very impressed with what we've put together, and they're very keen to help us, as well as the HFA, who I met with on Friday. Have been extremely helpful, and that's fantastic. We, as a group, have put in many, many hours of free issue time, if you want to call it that, to get to this point. And we ask you for support to make this football club happen. We think it can be successful, but it needs everyone behind it, all in the same direction. In 5 years' time, nothing would be better than to be able to walk down the high street with our heads held high, because that will mean that we've done a good job of running this football club. And genuinely, we're all supporters. That's what we want. We don't want people hurling abuse at us. We don't want people telling us what we're doing wrong. We'll get some of that, we understand that. But we want to do this right. And that's, again, why we've come here tonight, so that we can get everything out in the open to you. Thank you very much for listening to the plan. I, myself, have been a passionate, long-standing supporter of Hereford United, like all of us in this room. I feel this new club is the future. And I want, and we want everyone to be on that journey. And I do mean everyone when I say that. What's gone has gone. What's in the past is in the past. The culture going forward will be forever united. Let's make it happen.